Hello! Let's say you're traveling in your Coachmen Beyond with your Li3 batteries and you're going to be stopping at a friend's house or a relative's house, and they say, hey, listen, we have an outlet you can plug into while you're staying in our driveway. Well, we're going to find out how that works. Stand by. Okay, so great. Now you know that there's going to be an outlet you can plug into, but it's not going to be a 30 amp RV outlet, a 30 amp outlet like you would find at a campground. It's just going to be a standard 15 amp outlet on their front porch. So it'll still work because we have a Coachmen Beyond Li3, and we can adjust the input on our inverter. We can tell them it's a 5 amp, a 10 amp, 15, 20, 25, out to 30. So all we need to do this is the short cable that came with the RV and 3 other items. Some people just say 2. I say 3. You need a BMS. This is going to protect your van electronics from an overvoltage, undervoltage, surges, spikes, all that. So we need this. We need an adapter. This is a 15 amp male to a 30 amp female. You can buy these on Amazon, eBay, Camping World. It's just a 15 amp male, 30 amp female, and an extension cord. But not just any extension cord. You want one that's capable of handling higher amperage. This one right here, this is a rated for 15 amps. It's 14 gauge wire. Ideally you'd want maybe a 12 gauge wire. It's going to be more expensive, but this is going to work fine because it's rated for 15 and we're only going to draw 8, so it's only half its capacity. So here's what we have. So this is the outside, and then the inside we're going to do something inside. But in the meantime, we're just going to hook the power cable up right here. So, alright. It's hot out, by the way. Ah, man, it's brutal. We're in Texas, and it's like 99 degrees right now. So, but anyway, you take your power cable, your shore power, and it's got the little L-shaped one and the 2 straight ones. You line it up, you put it on, you give it that little clockwise twist to engage those, and then you screw it on. This is very important to screw it on. You want that tight, so it's a good connection. Put that down, and we're just going to extend this power cable up toward the house. Okay, so this is the male part of the connector of the plug, and I like to use this BMS. You plug it in right here, just like that. Okay, so this is done here. Now we got to get from here to the house. You want to keep this vertical because it's designed, if it rains, it's going to rain off it this way. I'm not worried about rain right now, so I'm going to just lay this on the ground up here. Otherwise, I could wrap my extension cord around here and hang it, but we're just going to lay it on the ground.
We'll put it on the porch.
On the porch, underneath an awning. It's going to be under a cover here. So now I put my dog bone on here, and you plug in the extension cord. And that right there gives us everything we need to go and plug this in to an outlet on their house. So from here, we're connected to the van. So the next step, I'm going to go inside the van and show you how to set that up so that it will work. So we'll just lay that there. Come on in. Filming? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at this screen on the Xantrex right now. This is where you would enable the inverter. See if it's got that right there. If you push this, the inverter comes on. It says DS for disable the inverter. So you go like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit this function button, and now you see it says PS10 with an up arrow and a down arrow. So if I hit the down arrow, it goes to 5. Up it goes to 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30. If I plug it in at 30, it'll trip that breaker. So we're going to come down, and I like to go on the safe side and say 10 amps because it's going to pull 80% of that. So it'll pull 8 amps off of that outlet out there. If there's already some things on that outlet, it might already have 8 amps being drawn on it. There's lights or something else that are on that circuit. So by doing this, it's a little safer. If it was a 20 amp outlet, you knew it was a 20 amp outlet, you could do 15. But I like to do 10. So now we're all set. You can see right now the inverter is off. My battery is 13.4, 0 amps. My load is 0. My ACN is 0 amps, voltage, and all that. So we're going to go outside now. We're going to plug in that outlet, that cord. Okay. All right. As you can see, my inverter is off right now. That's the way you want to have it turned off. I plugged in the extension cord, but since it's going through my BMS, it's going to wait 128 seconds. And that's just a pause feature in case there's a power outage. If the power goes off in the park or somewhere, you don't want to come back on instantly and have your compressor on your air conditioner try to start. So it gives you time for your compressor to stop and reset. But right now it's looking for a qualifying AC, and it's going to take 128 seconds.
It is.
Okay, so there we go. My inverter just came on. You can see I'm pulling in 55 amps right now. That's 55 DC amps, which is really less. You can see right here, my AC amps is 8 amps at 107 volts. It's kind of low voltage, which is kind of weird. 106 volts. But we're drawing 8 amps. So that's all good. This is how you do it. And I could bump that up to 15, but it might trip his breaker. I don't know. I'm safe at PS10. So let's step back outside and we'll look at the BMS now.
I have a question.
What's that?
Where it said disabled, it now says bulk. Is that correct?
Yes, it's bulk charging the batteries right now.
Bulk means it is
Taking
a charge.
Taking it a lot.
Okay.
It'll go bulk and then it'll go to absorption, I think. There's different levels of charge. So right now it's putting in 52, which is actually like 5.4 amps. 54 is, you move the decimal point one place to go from AC amps to DC amps. So it's 53 is actually 5.3 AC amps. So let's go outside and we'll take a look at it out there.
Go.
Okay, well you can't really see in here, but it says it's pulling 8 amps right now. So that's good. This is 8 amps AC. And when you convert that to DC, you move the decimal point. So 8 amps AC is like 80 amps, 12 volts DC. The 12 volt air conditioner on our unit, it uses amount of amps depending on the weather. If it's really, really hot out, it's going to use more amps than if it's moderately hot out. Like right now, it's hot out. So it would probably use about 100 amps an hour. And I'm supplying it here 80 amps an hour. So even though I'm plugged in, I'm still going to be pulling off my batteries a little. But if it's not so hot out, the air conditioner might only pull 60 amps. At 60, now you're adding 20 in to the batteries. Typically, I see it run 70 to 80 amps an hour. And that means that this is going to keep up with the use. So my batteries, if I pull into somebody's house with 600 amp hours, I can do this. The next morning, I'll be about 600 amp hours because overnight the air conditioner is not going to work as hard. You're going to get filled up, and this will last great. So that's how you can sit in somebody's driveway with a Coachmen Beyond Li3 and use the air conditioner off of a 15 amp outlet. It's great. And if you got any questions about it, just drop me a message here and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But in the meantime, it's hot out and I'm gonna go inside the house where the air conditioner's on and disconnect all this because we're leaving tomorrow morning. So heading back on the road. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.